For example, there are thousands of shareholders, and no one has more than the 1 or 2 shares of the company. If each shareholder would influence on the executives in this company, it's impossible, absolutely. Even they will organize the specific procedure of the voting during the annual meeting of the shareholders. They will absolutely impossible to monitor, to control the executives, even if they are decided to participate in the annual meeting. They couldn't achieve the agreement between each other. That's why the executives has the big freedom from the will of the shareholders. That's why we need to evaluate not the real interest of the shareholders, but the interest of the managers. Williamson decided to construct the utility function of the managers, and the utility function could include the several decisions between the substitution between the free time and the time for work. Harvey Lichtenstein proposed the additional way for understanding the decision-making process, the concept of selective rationality. Concept of selective rationality, we know, includes the 4 statements about the 4 type of motivation in the company, and selective rationality means the company will try to achieve not the maximum of possible allocation of the resources, but we are trying to put the possible for achievement allocation. The allocation efficiency and efficiency in the non-allocative process. You see, this is about the Wittgenstein. John Baker, he decided to offer the non-monetary sources of the income. What does it mean, non-monetary resources? Income of decision makers in the company. For example, the social status of executives would be took into account if we decided to evaluate the utility process. Or, for example, willingness to build the empire from the side of executives. For example, company tried to organize additional M&A deals. It couldn't be in the process for increasing the total profit of the company, because they are trying to organize the real huge organizational structure and to be a number one, not only in the one sector of economy, but, for example, to be number one according to the total assets, number of employees, and to be the most powerful company in the national economy, to be a real multinational company and have a real power with the business communications, with the market power, and so on and so forth, trying to dictate the circumstances on the resource markets and others. Armen Alchan, he is a representative of the American managerial thought and one of the founders of institutional direction in the firm theory. Alternative ownership structure, weaken the owner's rights to the firm welfare. He tried to understand the different type of organization has the different possibility to maximize the final welfare of the company. For example, what the difference between the individual company and the corporation, individual company and the partnership, individual company and, for example, manufacturing cooperative, individual company and limited liability company. There could be many different configuration of the ownership rights and different configuration with the incentives for decision making, participating in the decision making process. We will study some aspects of the institutional direction further during the last lecture in this semester. You see, the main section of the theory, I mean the behavioral theory, organizational goals. There are several goals, not only the one, and it could be like consensus between the goals of different parts of the company. For example, the organizational goals would be like looks like a consensus between the goal of owners, executives, employees, ordinary employees, and, for example, the supplier, consumers, and maybe some restrictions from the side of the governments. Organizational expectations. This is the first time then we can find the expectations like the determinant in the theory of firm. What does it mean? Expectation. What the difference between the expectation and the goal? Goal means task, but expectation, it includes the possibility of some events. We need to take into account the environment of decision-making process. Searching to process the new information, expectation means we need to evaluate the possibility of some way for our potential activities. Choosing an organization means we need to find the best way how to organize the process of decision making. Degree of control over the implementation, the selection decision, how we can monitor the decision making process, and how we can find the non-effective way for decision making. We need to find the motivation of participants of the company. If there could be non-effective incentives of the decision makers in the company. What about the coalition? Again, the first time then we can find the determinant coalition. Further, Armen Alchan and his fellows will try to define the company like a coalition of the owner of resources and to evaluate the powerful of each owner of resources. For example, what does it mean the role of the owners of the capital, owners of the labor, owners of entrepreneurship, owner of the nature resources. But here you see the firm is a coalition. Coalition means we have no only one common task. Each of us can have their own task for achievement. For example, what about my task to be here? What about my task to be a member of Ural Federal University? What do you think about my motivation, about my task, my incentives to work here?
To bring to the world more really talented people.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very proud image. but maybe more real task.
Give your knowledge to us.
Thank you again.
To earn a living.
Yeah, to have money. First of all, because this is my main resource for income. My wage, my salary, the difference between the wage and salary.
They are similar but not the same.
Yes, it's not the same.
The wage is actually the breakdown of the salary.
Оклад и зарплата. In Russian, she knows the translation. And the difference in meaning of the wage and salary. Fixed. Salary means fixed.
Okay.
Basic and wage, variable one. And dependent on, for example, the achievement or maybe time spent for work. For example, if I will have additional hours for learning students, I will have additional money. Or for example, I will, if I have additional project, university will pay me for additional activity. For example, if I will publish papers in the high-rank peer-reviewed journals, it could be paid additionally because this is my scientific achievement. Or for example, my students are winners of some students' international competition. For example, scientific competition or project competition. They will pay me additionally like a supervisor for these students. But students will have the opportunity to have additional higher level of the scholarship, for example. This year I have such type of students, two students from our second year, Nikita Larchenko, Pavel Poluyaktov. They won in the competition, international competition, organized by Ural State Economic University. They were winners, first prize. They paper about the assessing the market value of the company in the digital sector. Okay, they will pay me additionally. My task is to earn more, being involved in the some activities in Ural Federal University. Or for example, I would like to be a leader of the team of the professors, for example. It's not my real task, but it's important for me to be involved in some interesting process. This additional inner motivation for me, not external motivation which could be offered by university for me, but it's really about the content of my work. Do you really interested in what happens in the street? Oh, okay. The temperature, the moves. Okay, but it's my tasks, many variants of the task. For example, I would like to be a садюга. В отношении вас, например, допустим, вот мне очень нравится, как это сказать, издеваться над студентами. Но это же тоже форма, да? Вот, например, дома я не хочу ни над кем издеваться, а вот тут прихожу и говорю: привет, тупник. Нет такой, думаете, задачи у преподавателей? Или такая задача есть, но мы ведь смолчали, Мила Станиславовна, интеллигентно. Нет, ну конечно, а что? Всякий преподаватель, безусловно, Сидюков. А как нет? Ну разве вы не чувствуете на себе, как студенты, некого такого, как бы сказать, там, negative pressure from the side of teacher? Some say такие характеристики личностные, да? Personal characteristics of each lecture could be described like the additional psychological motivation or maybe some relations, try to realize myself in the audience like maybe like an actress or I don't know how. В общем, короче, масса целей. My goals far from the mission of Ural Federal University. Do you know mission of Ural Federal University? I find
Excellent
it
students.
on the website of the Ural Federal University. You can find mission, of course. For example, to create additional high qualified member of local and international society to increase the welfare of the Ural region and Russian Federation, maybe. I do not know exactly. I'm trying to offer some ideas for the university mission, but my mission is, I have no mission, I have just only several tasks, not correlated with the Ural Federal University, looks like the Ural Federal mission, but we need to understand that there are many employees, there are many tasks. Individuals don't look like the company, that's why we need to understand that the process of maximization of the profit couldn't be implemented. A limited rationality, lack of self-responsibility creates the organizational laxity and large coalitions. The coalition would find their own goal. Coalition would be involved in the common process. We need to find the agreement, find the way how to solve the problem of complexity of the coalition and try to minimize the organizational losses, organizational problems, try to find some common motivation. You see, organization obviously can maximize profit, but the accumulated funds allow the organization to survive in the bad market environment. That's why we need to find the resource for survival. The resource for survival would be creating the dynamic capabilities of the company. Dynamic capabilities mean the capability to survive in the changes of environment. For example, it leads in the sphere of the human resource management. First of all, we need to make a investment in the human capital. For example, do we need to organize additional meetings, or do we need to organize the common activity for the participant of company? Of course, yes, because we need to create the organizational culture. We need to create the common valuable task, common valuable goals for all members of company. And you see here, 5 organizational objectives related to the definition of P and Q traditionally. P with the start and Q with the start. This is the characteristics, traditional view of the characteristics of the optimal choice of the company. Some lectures ago, we repeated the main statement of neoclassical theory. Who could repeat the condition of the maximization of total profit according to the marginalism? Of course, yes. Yes. maximize to TP like TR minus TC. We try to maximize the total profit according to the Q, because we can find the optimal Q but not the optimal P. In the circumstances of the marginal cost and the marginal revenue, this is traditional point of the optimal choice of the company, because before we have seen the additional unit of goods would leads to the increasing the total profit. Marginal revenue will decrease, but the total profit will be increased because of additional profit. Here we can see the negative. Total profit will be decreasing because the marginal revenue less than the marginal cost, and the negative space of the total profit here, additional, will be increasing from the 0 till U with a start, we can decrease. But you see, 5 organizational objectives includes the production, stock level, sales, share of market, profit sharing among the coalition of members, and conflicts of the goals. What about the production? We need to produce quantity of goods or services which would permit us to maximize or to try to maximize the total profit. What about the stock level? This is the managing of a resource, managing the cost side of our production process. Sales, you see here, not the sales which maximize the total profit, but desired sales level. Why desired? Because we have the strong restriction from the side of the consumer, from the side of the competitors, potential competitors and current competitors. What does it mean, the difference between the potential competitors and current competitors or actual competitors? What do you think? Difference between the potential and current or actual? How you could describe the actual competitor? This company is our actual competitor. What's the condition?
I think the condition for an actual competitor is a company that produces the same good.
The same or good which looks like our good or clear for our goods according to the characteristics. For example, we produce not the same, for example, oil and gas. It's standardized goods, but it could be differentiated. For example, clothes, pencil, or the cell telephones, bags, and others. Looks like, but they differentiated. Okay. Next one.
And then the other
First
one,
condition, the quality. Second,
probably if the goods of that company can be used in place as a substitute.
like a substitute. Okay. It's about the quality.
That's what I can remember.
What else?
Amount of selling of the product.
Price.
Price. Price. Price could be compared. For example, okay, let's think about the substitution within the study programs. For example, Master Program International Management in Ural Federal University, International Management Master Program in High School of Economics, or МГИМО, Moscow State Institute of, что там они? Московский государственный институт, International Affairs. The highest upper level of the pricing, for example, more than the 500,000 per year, I guess.
I thought that HCA is the higher price.
Ну, в общем, что-то было 400, я остановилась в подсчетах на 475 тысяч.
Ну вот, выше, когда
Робот.
покупала, сначала было 490,
Ага.
там, получается, там скидки, потом они просчитывают рейтинги, вот это все, а потом, когда я училась, уже 690. Да?
It could be
То есть там было
closer and
много
closer
higher.
to the 1 million rubles per year.
Да.
Okay, if we can decide that the such difference between the prices for program permits us to understand these two programs like direct competitors. No, because it's oriented for the different budgets. Next one, what additional criteria for comparing the companies like a competitor?
If you operate in the same market,
Same market, same segment of market, maybe, for example, we oriented to the young people in the age of 22 till 25, or not elder than 30 years old, for example. We oriented for citizens of Russia and the foreign citizen, so on and so forth. Okay, next characteristic. Same quality, or like looks like the same quality, the same price, same market.
Может, same location, может быть. Location.
The same location. This is about the consumer costs.
but you can do that same inputs, same suppliers, same inputs.
Okay, thank you very much.
Portrait of the customers.
Portrait of the customers, of course, or the same market.
Target audience, можно сказать, целевая аудитория.
The same markets, portrait of consumer, yeah. I would like to ask you if really Ural Federal University is an actual competitor for the Ural State Economic University. What do you think? Or, for example, Ural University of the Railway Transportation, or Ural University of, как там у нас горный был этот?
Mining University.
Mining University, okay. If we really actual competitor.
If they offer similar courses, of course they are all competitors.
Or food just leader.
Urfu, yes, Urfu leader. Absolutely right.
Because Urfu has, I suppose, Urfu has a
Huge number of the freshmen each year,
and maybe
more than the
more activities than
10,000
others.
people on the first year. On the bachelor program, like a specialist programs, master, PhD. Okay, and
A lot of events
Yeah,
that
of course.
attract all the students.
outclass activities, a lot of outclass activities, some additional activities like in sport activities, our stadium and swimming pool and others buildings for sport activities. The number one in the Ural Sverdlovsk region, maybe even the additional student theater. I don't know what else.
And also just a huge name in Europe.
Because
But
of
because
the
of
valuable
first
brand.
president,
We need to take into account the value of the total sales, and we need to compare the scale of organizations. I guess the Euro Federal University bigger in a few times than the each other universities here. That's why it couldn't be compared like equal participants of the study process, because the different power of communication